Okay, hello everyone, and thank you very much for coming back again for the Inspiration Economy Lab. In this session, we're going to talk about experimenting to create inspiration labs in the targeted communities. So once we identify what type of community we are targeting, then we can design the environment of the lab so that it can help to drive the project towards the betterment of the community. The lab environment promote community learning. So we need to create this type of environment, and then we need to actually capitalize on the benefits we can create for the necessary learning of the community. And then, of course, once the lab is open to multidisciplines and focuses on overcoming the challenges, then we can start the how question. Through focused Inspiration Lab initiatives, we can overcome barriers and create transformation in our communities. Now, this environment, once created, it helps us to create out experiments that can build trends, and it can support the currencies of inspiration. There are traditional, actually, community development project culture where the inspiration come from all the, let's say, the village's leaders, but involve the community. This is one type of, so it is a project that is initiated by the village leaders, one type of, let's say, professions towards developing all the villages. Same thing, government usually, they work by this type of model where the government it will give, let's say, a decree for all the ministries to work on a specific project to support, for example, development of education, creativity, innovation in the country, and so on. There is inspiration economy focus on this type of model where it is a cooperative and collaborative culture that works together, where the inspiration come from all the community, horizontally and vertically. So they will be horizontally and vertically connected in order to create the change that is required. And as we said, if it is top down, like this one, the one we mentioned earlier, then it is easier to change. But if it is, let's say, it is bottom up, it is longer, but it's and more challenging, but it brings sustained tolerance and more robust or innovative solutions. The labs actually help to create a new type of design and thinking together with the tools for the targeted sector. These labs help to build a capacity for effective change with minimal resources and improve service delivery while enhancing autonomy. These labs also can move towards real development and not growth. This move requires a deep focus on what we want to create, and not only the how we want to create it. Now, the lab environment also involves how we deal with the existing or foreseen challenges or problems within the community. So the lab forces us to be more curious, to test things in different ways, and to apply new approaches so that we can create organizational change and enable the target community to lead its change. Now, the target community also allow us to employ a range of activities and tools to discover what triggers our capacity to explore new opportunities. The target community members are involved in the lab environment. The more a new mindset could be created, that will enable us to support them directly in creating the necessary organizational change. Now, again, the flexibility to try things out practically and then measure the results creates better autonomy with regard to operating responsibly. The intention of creating a model is that it will not be generalized until all the structural and financial constraints are approved. Only then we can again overcome the fear of change. Part of the environment is that we need to minimize the targeted communities or the beneficiaries or the partner fears by increasing the will to take risk. And this will overcome with step by step in the lab. The other techniques is that we create the necessary focus, which makes us more sensitive to important observations. And this again will help the people to get more engaged with the problem and lead us to be aligned with the committee needs. Part of the lab environment is that we should have immediate connection with necessarily knowledge clusters so that we can then define better renewable inspiration sources, approaches, and methodologies. The lab also can help us to start testing fresh ideas to which participants are exposed. And of course, the lab can help us to sustain results that are difficult to sustain using the bureaucratic system. For example, we could sustain the level of inspired students in our high schools to be more than 40%. This is again one of the targets that we can create as part of the environment for developing socio-economic projects. The lab then focus on inspirational sources, including setting, for example, a strategic team to sustain the outcome achieved. This is an example of how we again build an environment for the lab. For example, we focus on the level of visualization. We focus on the level of accuracy hit rate. We focus on the level of focus of direction, accuracy of direction, the pull thinking, whether it is working or not. Pull thinking means being selective and select the right thing for the inspiration. We focus on the ability to discover. We focus on the ability to create a new learning environment. This all, once it is put in the context of inspiration currency, it means that we are raising the capacity versus demand, and it means that we are influencing without power. Then we can have a sustained legacy. I think we'll stop here as usual, and we'll continue with you in the next session. Thank you very much.